This is Harsh here with Suvi, Suki, and Jaden. We are Game Changers Podcast. Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 1. We've been wanting to do this for a long, long time, but with certain obstacles, we had to adapt. And this is our Season 2, a Game Changers Podcast, inspiring conversations with leaders of tomorrow. And I have 3 future leaders with you who are part of our Game Changers team now. And, this season we're focusing on how, this entire season with the coronavirus and COVID-19 spreading constantly, it's allowing us to adapt. And our theme for this season is, staying inspired through isolation. And we want to continue bringing great content to you guys. We want to inspire you guys, motivate you guys to how to adapt, be your best self, and fulfill your potential and maintain inspiration while being in this circumstance. So, thank you guys for coming on. And I want to take this opportunity for our first episode to be a pilot episode so I can introduce our brand new team. And we'll start off with Suvi to, you guys tell us a little bit about your background and, what you'd like to do.
Okay, so I'm Suvi. I work at Starbucks currently, and I can't say I hate it. It's really nice in some ways, but the customers are really mean sometimes, and I found this opportunity for Game Changers, and I leaped to it because it gives people a platform to kind of voice their stories, and it gives people a voice, and in Edmonton especially, we need that. So here I am.
Okay, so a little fire truck there, but thanks for sharing that. And forward that to Suki. Obviously, with we're all from our homes, so there might be a little bit of background noise disturbances here and there, but we have to adapt. And here we go. Suki, go ahead.
All right. Hey guys, my name's Suki. So I'm a co-host, and I also focus on the social media marketing for the podcast. And so I joined Game Changers and met Harsh around early February. And I remember being a viewer of season 1 and just admiring the work that these guys were doing by shining light on talented, hard-working individuals in our community and recognizing their work and helping them grow. And in this day and age, I feel like social media is a really powerful tool. And unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of negativity on these platforms. Not to say that there isn't any positive qualities, but it seems like the negative outshines the positive most of the time. And when I seen what Harsh was doing by creating this platform, I knew I wanted to be a part of it. And so, I immediately set up an interview with him, and, we discussed our goals and, kind of what we wanted to do. And like Harsh said earlier, this platform not only helps us grow as individuals through the conversations we have, but also helps bring you guys, our viewers, the best content possible, and hopefully inspire and motivate some of you guys to be the best versions of yourself you can be.
For sure. Thanks for sharing that, Suki. I completely, second everything you said. So, and that's why we have you on, right?
Yeah, I feel nervous doing my first podcast right now.
Me too.
I think we're all nervous, but I think it's great. I think it's an opportunity for all of us to adapt, and especially for you guys. You guys are starting out, podcasting, and you always have to start somewhere. And I'm super excited for you guys to be a part of this. I'm super excited for this new family that we've built, and I'm so excited to keep this going and build these relationships with you guys and with our audience. So moving forward to Jaden DePeel, the man. I'd love to hear about you and sharing your background with our viewers.
Hey guys, I'm Jaden. So I'm in first year university right now, and I was just looking for some marketing experience because I feel like I'm just looking at the paths that I could go down right now. And then Game Changers came up. I was like, yeah, this would be super cool to do marketing. And then what really caught me was their mission statement, how they want to inspire future leaders. And I thought that that I really felt in that fit in with that vision, and I could really work with this. And I felt like it would be a really good opportunity to do something to inspire a community here. So that's where I was going there. And then and yeah.
For sure. Thanks for sharing that, Jaden. And Jaden is our marketing strategist, our main man behind the scenes guy. But I wanted to bring Jaden on because even though he's not currently one of the hosts, but I think he definitely has so much to share in terms of his potential and what he talks about. I think it's absolutely amazing what he's doing for his age, and it's inspirational. He inspires me actually a lot of the times when I see what he's doing and how hard he's working and how he's adapting to circumstances and pursuing, the consistent, persistent potential of himself. It's absolutely amazing. So I'm super happy. Great introduction about you guys. But moving forward, I'm curious to know, especially for Game Changers podcast, right? Inspiring conversations with leaders of tomorrow. What really attracted you? Where does where do your personal values align with our mission of what we're trying to do, what the movement we're trying to create here, and the positivity, the message we're trying to spread here? How does it align with your guys' personal values?
I'm assuming we're gonna start with me.
Anyone's free to go.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It's like we went.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. What was I gonna say? So I value people who are genuine, people who work hard, and like you can tell the ones who are genuine. You can tell who build something for themselves and treat people the way that they want to be treated, and that's who we have on here. And I've been watching Game Changers in season 1 too. Seeing that, I wanted to be part of it, and like those values, I think, reflect almost exactly what Game Changers is as well. So, yeah.
Kind of jumping off what CV said, I kind of feel the same way as well. And one of the reasons why I joined the podcast was to kind of get outside my comfort zone and to also help motivate others to get out of their comfort zone. Because just like you guys, like Jaden and CV, this is my first time doing something like this, right? So I felt very anxious, I guess, being a part of this. And even this first podcast, I still feel anxious talking. But because I'm doing it, I know I'm growing as a person, right? And Harsh, me and you kind of had a small funny conversation in the DMs yesterday, right? Kind of posting stuff on my story, kind of putting myself out there a little bit more. And if I can do that with myself, like how many other people can I inspire, right? So that's kind of what I think Game Changers is about, and that's also kind of what I'm trying to contribute to the team as well.
Amazing. And Jaden, what would you like to add to that?
What was the basis of the question again? Sorry.
So it's how does our mission to inspire,
Okay, yeah.
And inspire leaders of tomorrow, how does that align with your personal values of what you're trying to do and what you believe in?
Yeah. So like when I started out, when I wanted to start pursuing something that was bigger than something I've done before, like pursuing a career, because that's why everyone wants to pursue a career. I wanted to start doing it and start making connections, but I didn't know where to start. I didn't know that there were other people that wanted to do that, and I didn't know where to start or who to talk to start doing stuff. I was really nerve wracking, but then once I started finding people and finding like the Game Changers podcast and stuff, I found there's a community around this, and I really value that. And especially like lots of my brand is around financial literacy and stuff that's progressive, that everyone can talk about and that everyone can relate to. And I feel like just Game Changers as a community, just helping everyone out, I think in the long run, like it's so progressive and it just works.
Fantastic. And I think I have such nice thoughts and about you guys specifically. I remember when I met Suvi, where you were talking about her values, and she mentioned she loved the podcast we had with Jasmine Core. She said she was reading her books, and listening to her was so inspiring for her. And I think at that moment it kind of gave me that feeling of this is why we do this. This is why we as hosts and as part as members of this team, when someone comes up to you and says, hey, you inspired me, this person, you guys were a channel that brought this person on and created content that inspired me, that improved me in a way, that motivated me to be a better version of myself, right? Suki, amazing what you said about getting out of your comfort zone, right? It's and that's what I've always believed in, that where sometimes your mind and body is neurologically you're afraid of trying newer things because it's something new and you feel uncomfortable. but forcing yourself into a situation, just like what we're doing right now, right? Who would have thought this was how our season 2 was going to be? But hey, we adapt. This is our first time doing something like this. We're adapting. We're uncomfortable, but it's a learning process, right? Whether it's personal values, or whether it's since we're recording a podcast, whether it's something profession related or career related, it could be anything. But having that value of pushing yourself, right, to learn and grow, and knowing that I'm starting something out, and that's how it works, right? You start from scratch, and that's where everyone starts. Anyone you've seen who's accomplished something in their life has started from the bottom, has started from the base. And I can second everything you said. And Jaden, his work on, if you guys follow Jaden on LinkedIn, he does some amazing stuff. He does some crazy stuff, to be honest, but you'll see his videos. He's running down some stairs in -30, going for a run in shorts at like 6 a.m. He's a crazy guy. And I know he's really into finance, but all the work that he does, it's amazing. He's one of the most extraordinary people that I know. And even with this marketing thing, I know he really wanted to contribute to us, but also contribute to himself and learn. And I think we're all learning here, and also while we contribute to the society and to building the community that we want, right? But I just realized I also would love to introduce and talk a little bit about myself, and kind of share why I'm here. And if you guys didn't notice me yet, but for people who are listening, watching, for me, I've been part of Game Changers podcast for about a year and a half. We started with a team of 2 people. Then we had to make another team, and we made another team. Because it's a process, right? This is something that I realized that I could never give up on. This is who I am, right? For me, I think, and everyone can second this, we all have one purpose. Everyone has the same purpose: to help others, right? That's all our why. That's our why of, this is what we want to do with our life. We all want to help other people. Everyone has one purpose. Now, what's different is our what, and by what means are we accomplishing that? By what means are we inspiring other people? For me, is inspiring these younger generations coming out that spend so much time on social media, and on content and general, just taking in so much dopamine. I wanted to be an influencing factor of creating good content, and showing them a perspective of outside their little world, and saying, hey, this person is also from the same city that you're from, and really close to your age, or maybe a couple years older, but see what their perspective was, see what their vision was, see how they started and their journey, and how they accomplished what they set themselves out to do, right? And allowing other people to share that story, and say, hey, if they can do it, you can do it too. And I think that's what I wanted to be a part of. Same thing with me doing life coaching and being a certified coach now. It's an amazing feeling, because it's kind of similar to what with the podcast, where we share values, but I get to be more personal with my clients and focus specifically on them. And I think it's a continuous, persistent, consistent pursuit of learning what our potential is, and trying to fulfill it. And that's me. That's who I am. And personally, for my values, I love nothing more. Nothing gives me more fulfillment than, like, when Suvi said, this is what you guys are doing. I loved it. I watched your content, and inspired me. That's the social wealth. That's the respect and reputation you built up. The feeling. It's a little bit selfish, I'd say, where I love helping people, because it makes me feel so good about myself and who I am as a person. And this is the path I want to go on personally, whether it's coaching, whether it's a podcast, whatever I'm doing with my life, of continuing to inspire and help other people be better version of themselves, right? But that's my 2 cents on me. But thank you all for sharing. And going forward, I would want to talk to you guys a little bit about what you think is what the vision you see for Game Changers podcast going forward. And anyone's welcome to talk. There's no order. Yeah.
Okay, well, hopefully to inspire as many people as we can, but not just that, just inspire them in a way that really hits them differently. Not just surface level, just they watch our podcast and they're like, wow, that was motivating. That makes me want to do something. That makes me want to, like, I
And
can't.
especially with the people we have on coming. Like you guys,
Yeah.
no spoilers, but this season we've really stepped it up in terms of the benchmark we're setting for guest quality, content quality, video, audio quality, whatever it is. We're just aiming for the best of the best.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think. Oh,
Sorry.
sorry, you can go first.
All right, sounds good. So I think one of my visions is, kind of altering the way people think about themselves and, kind of what they want to do. Because for me specifically, I guess, yeah, I would have days where, I'm very unproductive. I like won't do anything all day, but then come like 2, 3 a.m., I'll start thinking about, like, now, like, what am I doing, right? I kind of just wasted the entire day doing nothing, right? Like, I feel like I should be doing something, whether it's for myself or for someone else, right? And so kind of like diving in depth in these questions and kind of questioning yourself as to, what should I be doing? What can I do better? And, what can I do to better myself and other people as well, right? So I think that's one of the main things that I want to do with this podcast is to kind of alter the way people are thinking, but also give them these great conversations that we might have or that we will have, and hopefully inspire a different way of thinking for these people.
Definitely bringing that perspective, bringing that awareness. And I think there's this belief that I've always had that every single person, on this earth has some sort of greatness within them that they have cultivated through their experiences, through their genetics, through their beliefs over their period of lifetime. And it's all about learning and about learning about yourself and what that greatness is, and pursuing it to the maximum. And I think you kind of talked a little bit about that, Suki.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that there's lots of people in these specific areas. Like for Edmonton, for example, there's a lot of people that are doing a lot of good stuff, but they don't really have a common ground as much. I feel like game changers could create a community and then inspire people to do something and show them that they can achieve what they want to achieve, and build this community around it.
And it's amazing because you see the guests that we had on last season, right? The amazing people that lots of the time that would go unappreciated. And now you're seeing these people come out, where Upna Hockey with Lolly Tour, he's one of my closest friends, and these guys had such a huge voice during those issues about racism in hockey. And he was doing interviews with CBC National, and huge people. And there's our Spontively guys, Spontively, Raj and Anthony. These guys right now, I don't know if you guys saw the news, but these guys are on the news on almost on every channel because they made their app a source of information where people in these times of quarantine, people can take photos and upload them. And they're providing so much support for the community. You look at Remake Studio, you look at OG Jonah, who's been, I know Jaden loves that episode with OG Jonah, how he talks about changing music and the style of music, and what music means to him and his journey and process. And I think these people would generally go unappreciated, or really, even if they are known, we really don't know who's the person behind their profession, right? The personality that it took to build this character, to build this company, to build an organization. And I think with Game Changers, it allows us to give them limelight and say, this is someone who may be known or unknown, but this is their journey, this is their story, and this is what we can learn from them. And from personally for me, I've seen a general pattern of values. I've seen a general pattern of what these experiences have been like for people, right? And you get to learn that it's a mindset, it's a culture, it's a lifestyle of what Game Changers is like, or being a game changer is like. And what it takes. It's very similar. You see similar patterns coming from all these people, and we want to push people more and more and share more and more of this mindset and this game changer culture of how you can take away from that and apply it to your own life. So going forward, I want to ask you guys about, I know our theme being inspiration through isolation, right? And with that theme going, we don't know how long this is going to last, but we're going to make content for our audience and for our viewers to, bring as best guests with the best quality, with the best content that we can for you guys. But I want to ask you three in terms of, and I'll share this at the end as well, on how are you guys, dealing with isolation, self-isolation, or maybe being quarantined with COVID-19, and how's that experience going for you? And it's okay to be vulnerable, right? Because I know some of us may, like I have done it, where 1 or 2 days I really lost the plot and ended up waking up until 5 a.m. and found myself waking up at like 1 p.m. And it happens. But again, it's a process, right? We're adapting. It's an opportunity that's teaching us how to find discipline in these times, finding solitude in these times, and building a culture within our own household that we can regularly maintain during these tough times. So I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say.
So for me personally, it's been very hard for me, just trying to be motivated, I guess. So I've been trying to find, little ways to kind of accomplish bigger goals. So kind of setting small goals to accomplish bigger ones. So whether it's, going through a chapter today and then, finishing a quiz or finishing an assignment, right? Just setting mini goals. One of the hardest things is, just trying to stay focused, I guess. Just, being at home surrounded by all these electronics, just, trying to focus on my work is hard. It's easy to just kind of turn on your PS4 and start playing with your friends or something like that. You know what I mean? Play some FIFA or something like that, right, Harsh?
I'm not FIFA.
It's definitely tough out here. And one of my main ways is, just trying to watch people that I'm inspired by, watching videos by people like Gary Vee or, whoever, something where, I can tap into that mindset and get that inspiration. And then once I feel that, just dive into my work right away and try and accomplish as much as I can while I have that mindset. You know what I mean?
Definitely agree with all of that.
Yeah. So the way that I'm doing it is I find, for me, like I'm just so extroverted, being locked inside a house is super hard for me. It's like my worst nightmare right now. So, um, having that in mind, I've been making sure to reach out to people, just have a conversation with them, set some time for this every day. I've been making sure to get up, quickly, go outside, get a run in, do some push-ups or something, get motivated from working out and going through the motions. And I feel that always helps. Consuming constructive content, so listening to podcasts and reading books. I've been trying to do that a lot to keep myself on track, and then just making sure I set myself a bedtime, get to bed at a certain time every day. I've been trying more self-awareness. I actually started journaling for the first time, and that's pretty cool because you're
How's
making yourself
journaling for you?
vulnerable.
Because I'm a huge advocate for journaling. How's journaling going for you?
Yeah, so this was the first time I've ever done it, and it's weird because you like actually put your emotions on a page and you can see your vulnerabilities and have more self-awareness, and I think it was super cool. And then you can also reflect on your strengths and things you've done well, and you can goal set too. I think that journaling is something that I'll continue to do. But me having just been locked in a house, it's really open these up for me, because normally I probably wouldn't have been doing this right now if I wasn't locked in a house. So it's kind of it's bringing me down to earth, down a level, so I can reflect on myself and see what I need to improve.
Great, fantastic.
Well, you guys are really inspiring. I think 2 days ago, all I did all day was lay in bed. I'm not even kidding. I got up to eat.
That's
And that's it. And then the next day, like yesterday, I got all my schoolwork done, everything done. I studied all day. And it's just two sides for me. And today it's kind of been a mix of the two, but it's either I'm playing on my Switch all day, or I'm in bed, or I'd like go beast mode.
What games you got on your Switch though?
Sorry?
What games you got? Mario Kart or
Mario Kart, of course. Super Mario Odyssey, that one's good. And I think this is Breath of the Wild, Zelda.
Okay. A gamer girl. We got a gamer girl. Do you got a Twitch? You got a shout out?
Use the push plug.
No, that's fantastic. Anything else you want to add, Suvi?
Not really, just two sides to me, really.
Yeah, and I think that's how it is for everyone, because this is a situation that none of us had any experience being in, right? Being socially isolated, and as human beings, it's we crave social interaction. So being kept away from that, it is a bit of a challenge. But I think again, that's it's something that we have to learn, and the biggest thing that I've learned in this process is really being forgiving with myself, where I'm allowing myself opportunity to make mistakes, allowing myself the opportunity to, kind of mess up sometimes, where I can, maybe on the first couple of days, yeah, I was starting to sleep at 4 or 5 a.m. and maybe I'm gaming or whatever. But then after a couple of days, I kind of got my routine back on track. Like Jaden said, I started, continuing my routine of meditation and journaling, and instead of taking my dogs on a walk, I was doing runs with my dog, and that kind of came into my exercise and getting my assignments done on time, and also just slowly kind of allowing myself to mess up, but also understanding that it's a completely new situation even for me, and giving myself the opportunity to make mistakes and kind of observe, okay, what can I do to improve this, and what can I do to learn from this, and over this process kind of make increase my solitude, increase my capability of being alone, and how I manage my time, and establish that discipline, right? And even this during this process, I'm learning so much even about myself, that how I can control my environment and my surroundings while I'm at home, and for my utmost productivity, how I can, find ways out, even with this podcast, understanding, this is something, even though it's really nice to be comfortable on your bed, but understanding that, what is my purpose, right? Is laying in my bed, or, being on my gaming console, is that my purpose? Or reminding yourself on what really drives you, what really inspires you, right? Because and I remember reading this somewhere today, where motivation and inspiration are two different things, where motivation can be temporary but inspiration is permanent. So finding my inspiration again, saying, this is my purpose, this is where I find the most value in myself, and reminding myself that, and trying to bring myself back on track, and making mistakes again, but slowly but steadily we get there, and it's a process, right? And I think that's the number one thing I've learned, with empathy with myself, learning to forgive yourself, not being too hard on yourself. And that's my wish for all of you who are listening, that, go easy on yourself. Yes, everyone, social media can sometimes show that people are really doing well, and there's some people are, maybe waking up at 4 a.m., but you don't know if that's true. And so don't be too hard on yourself. Give yourself some time to adjust, adapt, and come back, bring your center back to yourself, and get on that path to on your fulfillment towards your potential, right?
That's
So
awesome.
I think this is a great spot for us to end this session for the podcast, where episode 1. But I really wanted to take our first episode and take this opportunity to introduce you guys, talk a little bit about the theme of this podcast, and this season that's going to come up for you guys, what we have in plan. We have some amazing guests that are coming, and we're so excited to get this started and be back on my purpose. I'm super excited to be making these episodes, have this brand new family for Game Changers, and continue creating content for you guys, for us to grow this community of being a game changer, allowing you to be a game changer, and adapt, and give you the capability to adapt and be your best self in any circumstance out there. And that's it for me. This is Harsh. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, and I'll let you guys finish off as well.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Season 2.
Guys, and we will bring you more episodes soon. Stay tuned. Season 2, Game Changers, inspiring conversations with leaders of tomorrow, inspired through isolation. We will see you on the next one.